The Bay Area's rock station, 107.7 The Bone.
That's exactly what it's called, too. Cosmic Universal Fashion. That is brand new Sammy Hagar here on 107.7 The Bone, the world premiere from his brand new record. I'm Stephen Seaweed. So back to the chicken foot idea, your collaboration with Sammy and Michael Anthony from Van Halen and Chad Smith. So when is the record going to come out? Are you guys going to tour? What are your plans? What are you doing?
Well, we'll be in the studio in December, right to the end of the month, I think, finishing up all the fairy dust, the guitars and vocals.
Because the last show on your tour is at the Warfield here in San Francisco, November 15th.
That's right, yeah, November 15th, and I'll get about 2 weeks to take off that hat, that's the proverbial hat, and then put on the other one, the chicken foot hat, which is a great image right there, a chicken foot hat. I got to make one of those.
Crazy.
Big, foot kind of thing. But and then mix it in January, February, have it ready for release in April 1st area, and go on the road. We really do want to take it out because you have to see it to believe it. It's just so much energy.
That, I think, will be spectacular. I think that will be much awaited and anticipated and loved when it happens.
Yeah, I really feel like it's just going to explode once it hits the stage.
Okay. Baby Huey, get on that microphone there. I know you had a question for Joe Satriani.
Oh, the one we talked about this morning?
Yes.
Okay. Steve and I were talking this morning. Have you had a chance to hear the new Metallica album? And if so, what do you think of Kurt's new guitar solos? Because I guess that was the big critique, that he hasn't been soloing in ages. So what do you think of his new, the latest guitar skill?
First of all, it sounds great. And here's a funny thing. My take on it was that I was just happy to hear a new Metallica record. That was the first great thing to finally get. And I heard the record. I actually bought the record before I heard there was any controversy about the sound or anything else. And so I'm just listening to it like a fan. But the funny thing was, as the guitar player in me, the performer, started to think, how are they going to remember all these parts? Because it's a very sort of ornate, almost progressive thrash metal record. I mean, there are a lot of parts in those songs, right? And I started to feel, for Kirk, like he's going to have to really think when he hits the stage and takes this record out live, because this is some complicated stuff.
Because Kirk Hammett was pretty much a student of yours at one point?
Yeah. You
taught him everything he knows.
No, he was already playing guitar quite well. He was playing with Exodus, another local band, great band. And during the course of our lessons, he auditioned for Metallica and got the gig. And he was, I think the last lesson I gave was to Kirk in January of '88, before I went out to start touring behind Surfing with the Alien. So we spent a good amount of time, and he was a great student. He's got great taste in music and guitar players, so it was easy just to give him information, and he would go off and make his own artistic decisions about how to utilize it,
Well, besides being a guitar virtuoso, Joe Satriani is also an expert guitar repair technician. Last time he was here, he was fixing a fan's guitar. Today he's fixing a guitar of ours, so maybe he can play it a little bit later. He's my guest.
I don't break it, sorry about that.
He's my guest in the studio on a special edition of Hey Mom, I'm on the Bone, and we will be back in a sec. Don't leave your seats.
107.7 The Bone.
Streaming online at 1077thebone.com.